Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. This session is somewhat delayed because I've been on a learning curve. Electronics and I don't necessarily have a good relationship, and that's been proven this weekend because I've tried to do something different. For those of you who've been following my videos, you are aware that I have 3 streams at present, and this video today will be a 4th stream that I'm hoping will take off. For those of you who have subscribed to this channel, I'm truly grateful because your support is the thing that keeps me going. If you have been watching and not subscribed, just hit that little button. It doesn't cost you anything. This session is all about doing a colour reading. Now, colour readings, of course, as I've mentioned in the past, are all about looking at an individual's state of mind, their state of play in the real world. But colour readings can also occur as a result of using cards and a little bit of psychic energy, and read very similar to those cards that we use in the tarot or for other types of divination processes. In this video, I am going to be looking at the month of February, and I'll be looking at it through the lens of each person's birth month. I truly would appreciate some comments. If you find these are of absolutely no use to you whatsoever, I'd like to know that just as much as if they have been helpful to you in negotiating the month of February. Your results are the things that are going to make me decide whether or not to keep this stream going. So as I said, it's an experiment. Let's get started.
Again, I want to talk about those people born in March and examine how their February is going to move along. February for those born in March. Here we have past, present, future, and the underlying energy. Here we have cyan appearing twice, once in the past, once in the present. Blue appears twice, once in the future, and also in the underlying energy. The other colors we have are yellow, purple, pink, and green. In the past, you've been sitting pretty comfortably, been quite calm, almost stagnant, not prepared to do anything exciting, not prepared to get involved in anything, but basically allowing the world to take its course. But in the real world, there's been so much excitement, so many things happening that, in fact, it has allowed you not only to be cheerful, but also just a little afraid of what's happening out there in the real world. At present, in the middle of March, you'll find yourself with that same calm happening out in the real world, but in the internal world, there will be a great deal of fear occurring. Now, the interesting thing here is that the cyan has gone from the internal world to the external world, which means that there is still a fair degree of calm and just letting bygones be bygones, letting things go and develop exactly the way they should without any real interference from your part. Yellow and purple, however, are opposites on the colour wheel, which means you're swinging from highs of either great joy to great fear, or from great anxiety to a desire to just change anything and everything simply so that you can recoup those feelings of calm that exist available to you either internally, as it has been in the past, or externally, as will happen during the month of February. Towards the end of February, that energy will change to one of vulnerability again. Things will have changed so rapidly and be so challenging to the way in which your life normally runs that you will feel it's better just to opt out, let things go the way they're going to go, don't get involved, don't be upset by anything, just simply accept that whatever's happening is happening because it is happening and there's nothing you can do about it. In the real world, there will be a period of calm where you're seeking understanding. It's like a darker form of the cyan. It's like instead of being just simply calm and in a blissful state that everything's going the way that you wanted it to, or things are working out for you, now we're in a situation where hard work and hard graft has to happen because you're not going to be able to do anything to change the status quo. You're feeling vulnerable internally, but in the real world, all that does for you is cause you to need to understand, to need to investigate further what things you can do to make life easier for yourself and for those around you. The underlying energy for all of this is one of needing to maintain the values that you have internally. Green has to do with values. It has to do with your ability to look at a situation, determine whether it's right or wrong for yourself or even for anyone else, and in that process, maintain your independence, maintain your ability to stand up for what you believe in. In the real world, that blue that here causes a fair degree of stagnation and hard work, here comes down to understanding. You understand what it is that is expected of you. You're prepared to put in the hours, because blue basically means shut up, do as you're told, don't complain, get on with the job. And that's what the underlying energy is for the entire month. You will need to work. You'll need to work very hard. And that work is all involved in whether or not it is agreeable to your particular values and belief systems internally. You can't get from a situation of feeling as though everything has been okay in your world and that you are calm, that things just simply couldn't be better because everything seems to be going well for you, and get to this situation of being able to make changes based on what it is that you value in your life. You can't get there unless you go through this period of vulnerability. And that vulnerability can be quite painful. Unfortunately, when we're in a pink phase, we often have some sort of illness that comes up. So if you were born in March, watch out for your health in February, because there is every chance that you might just become vulnerable to somebody else's germs passed on to you. And that's not a good space to be in. So what's missing? What lets you go through this as easily as possible? Well, we don't have any black. We don't have white. And we don't have red. We do have yellow. We have green. We have blue, but there's no brown. There is no orange. There's no grey. There is purple. There is pink. And there is cyan. So for you, there are only 6 colours that are missing from your repertoire. And in order to make the best of this underlying situation of having to match up your values with what it is that you actually do in life, you will need to come to terms with these 6 colours. And going from the end first, uncertainty is what grey represents. It's a situation where things seem to be clouded. Nothing is clear. You need to be able to understand better, but there is no way of guiding your way through it. Orange is all about your courage, your confidence, your ability to get up and demand what it is that you need for yourself. Brown is simply that hard, thankless tasks that have to be done because you are the worker. And as the worker, you know that the end result is worth all of the hard toil that you have to put in now. But it also has to do with independence. Are you going to be able to make of your life what you want to make of it, or are you going to be stuck in having to deal with whatever anybody else wants you to do? Red, of course, has to do with your own autonomy. Are you in charge of your life? Are you prepared to stand up and fight for what you believe in and what you want out of life, or are you a risk taker? Either way, red is a sign that says stop and think very carefully about what you're going to do next. And of course, black and white, like the colour grey, has to do with uncertainty and confusion, but this time they are extremes. You can take the black path and withdraw completely, or take the white path and allow yourself to be simply thrown in whatever direction life throws you those curveballs. Now, in order to make the best of these, you need to select between those 6 colours, which is the most appealing for you and which is the least appealing. Use those 2 colours in your life in some way. Food, as clothing, just simply as some sort of object that you create or see or you take notice of as you go about your everyday work. And they will help you on a subjective but also an unconscious level to head in the direction that you need to, so that ultimately you do find yourself being able to work towards those things that you value most highly, and do so with the least amount of distress.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little foray into the month of February for your birth month. If you found it useful or insightful, please leave a comment below. If you found it totally useless, also, please leave a comment below. I'd be very interested to hear what you have to say on the topic. In the meantime, may your life be filled with colour and a lot less in the way of electronic disasters, such as the ones I've had this month coming into February. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.